It's time for our final conversation today. And for that, we have Jide, JBlaze, Oyegbile, a versatile Nigerian talent balancing a career as a medical doctor with his passion for acting and filmmaking. It's such a pleasure to have you in the studio with us.
Thank you.
So I tend to do that Onye because a lot of Igbo people usually have that. So I'm so used to pronouncing it that way, so apologies for that.
Well understood.
But then, in fact, this is not an elephant. This is a huge elephant in the room. Yeah, so this is the award you won at the AMVCA just last weekend for Brukaci, right?
For Brukaci.
Brukaci,
yeah.
Okay. What is Brukaci about? I know it's a short film, but
yeah,
what is it about?
It is a short film that stands as a proof of concept. It's about a world that doesn't exist that I created. You
created it?
Yes.
Interesting. So you created it with the language, the people?
Yeah, so there's like the language, the culture, the people, their styling, the food they eat, every single thing. Created it from scratch. And it's entirely different.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's fantasy.
What does Brukaci mean?
Brukaci means bracket.
Bracket?
Yes.
Okay.
In their language.
Oh.
Right. They speak Bazio.
Bazio. Okay.
Yes, they speak Bazio.
Okay.
And it was set in a country called Banzima.
Banzima.
Yes.
Did Benzema have an influence?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yeah, so it's about a family that, you know, they're looking for a child and they got modeled up in some form of infidelity. And it created a form of brackets between two families. So it's literally brackets because of the situation that the families find themselves in. So it's quite relatable with, you know, real life, but it's just not in the world that exists. It's in a different dimension. That's it.
So what inspired this story?
I'd always thought about creating a world where I am going to be God of the world, meaning whatever I say passes, and trying to let people see how relatable what we're experiencing here could be like in every single, you know, spheres in life. You know, could be any other object, could be any other kind of, you know, animal set. And yeah, I created, you know, Brukaci. I did that, created the story, created the culture, and ended up filling up the missing piece, which was, you know, creating the language for that country. Because again, even though they speak English, the accent is also different. It's not the way we speak. And to make it complete, I needed to, you know, create their own language, create their own song. The song of the film, for example, is all done in their language also. Wow. You get, I worked on a couple of projects that kind of, you know, opened my mind to make it see that things like this were possible. Working with people like Kemi Adetiba, who is, you know, pretty much one of my mentors. Working on a big scale just opened my mind to seeing how possible creating such a world can be, even though I, you know, had that idea all along, and I, you know, started creating the story. Then subsequently working on our husband's project, Oscar Manaka, that the trailer came out and it was literally disturbing everywhere, titled Find a Messiah. That's the first film that I think in Nigeria has been made with a language that doesn't exist also, because he created the language for the same film. And then working on that project just opened my mind to seeing that, you know, all of this is very possible.
I'm very curious about something. How did you work on the language? Because, of course, you are Yoruba. You have Yoruba. There's English as well that you speak.
Yes.
Are there any other languages you speak?
Maybe Pidgin.
Pidgin.
Pidgin is
so how were you able to create this language?
See, when you're a creative, you kind of become insane, kind of. And I sit down, and the words literally come to me. They jump to me based on how it sounds. Most of the language in Banzima, titled Bazio, they're kind of similar to how, or relatable to a couple of words that we use in either Yoruba or English.
So it has influences of both Yoruba and English.
Like you feel like, if you listen and you actually pay attention to like the words, you kind of feel like, okay, I can get this one. For example, baby is Babina. Somehow. So if you think of baby, you think of Babina. It kind of seems relatable. So while I was working with the talent and we're trying to, you know, because I had to teach them the accent, I had to teach them the language, how things are pronounced, because even when you're speaking in English, you don't just talk like that. You gotta actually sound like it's all from the same place. Do you get? So by the time they started looking at the words one by one, it felt like they could relate with it because it's not too far off from the regular ones that we speak.
Can you speak the language?
I mean, bits and pieces. We're still constructing
Bits and
it.
pieces. So let's imagine that you want to talk about going to, winning the AMVCA. Let's hear you speak it.
Winning the AMVCA. So that's going to be a lot of construct. AMVCA, WUN, WUN me, Aligayo, meaning AMVCA, I won, and I love it, basically.
Aligayo is I love it.
Yeah, so Aligayo can be used as I love it, I love you. There's a lot of Aligayo that we use, you know, and then there's Tunkuyu, meaning thank you.
Tunkuyu.
Yeah.
I think this is really interesting. But the Wuname, yeah, I can see what you mean now about the English, because Wuna sounds like win,
it sounds like win.
Yeah, and then me. So it kind of feels like there's even a bit of French there, because in French, that's how you speak the words like that. Wuname, like, this is interesting. I can imagine the work that went into it.
It's crazy because even while trying to film, look, everybody had to commit themselves. We did a lot of rehearsals, you know, trying to make sure that everybody's got it right, because if one person doesn't sound like how you're supposed to sound in the film, then it takes you away from that particular world that we've created. Everybody needed to sound like that.
And you know, people ad-lib as well. Was that allowed for the film?
So the ad-lib probably, you know, it comes more with the English part of it. Do you understand? But even if you're going to do that, you have to do that in the accent. You can't just speak, you know, English just like that. You have to make it sound like that. And then we were really careful with ad-libbing, because this is a world that you're also new to as an actor. You don't want to create a construct that does not exist, because if it's not working, I'm going to tell you it's not working on the spot. Apart from the fact that, you know, I was directing and I was playing lead, meaning I was in almost all scenes. So even though this is going wrong, I'm like, nah, that's not it.
This is not working.
I'm going to do it again. I have to do it again. It felt like it was frustrating at the point, because it's not easy to remember the words. Now your job is to remember the language. It's also to remember how you speak it, and then also become the character, meaning you got to act right. So for you to be able to speak the language, trust me, 100%, it means that you're already the character. You can't, it's not something that you can just, you know, go out of character and come back and say,
so the talents were paid through the producers' noses, right? Because that's a lot.
A lot of them, the talents, I'm so glad that I work with my friends, and they didn't make it so difficult for me. They understood the dream. You know, I worked with Charles Bond. Charles Bond knew about the story right from the beginning. Worked with Mata Inome. Folustom is fantastic. I kept Folustom on the last day. We filmed till around maybe 5 a.m., 6 a.m. and she was going to work that day again. But you see, the doggedness is also because they also understood the dream and they bought into the reality of the story. And that was a win for me, you know. I absolutely loved everything about it.
Your talk about doing, you know, your friend going to work reminds me of the fact that you're also a medical doctor. How do you juggle this? Practicing medical doctor. And you're doing Wuname. Wow. Right
now, it's a lot more of private consultation. I'm lucky that my dad also, you know, owns a hospital, and you know, sometimes I just go there and then work with him. And it gives him joy. Every parent's always excited that, oh, their kid is doing what you know, they also did. And so I juggle that. But I do a lot of film now. Film has engulfed majority of my time, to be honest, because it's me acting, directing, producing, screenwriting. There's always something I'm doing with film. And yeah, the higher you go, the more you know, busy you get.
You know, this is really exciting. Having a medical doctor who is also so versed in arts. So this is also proof to you that you can be anything you want to be. Nothing can limit you. Practicing medical doctor and yet a successful actor and a producer and writer, and so many hats that you wear. So at this point, when you go to a hospital and you're being attended to by Dr. Oyegbile, you won't go, especially if you went for your heart, if you know what I mean. But then,
that kind of happened before. It's happened before where the patient came and she was really ill, and immediately she was like, oh, what? I'm like, yeah. And then the husband was like, I thought you were sick. And she got better almost immediately, and it was quite exciting. You know.
We have breakfast for you.
Okay.
Do you like pasta?
Yeah, I think so.
You think?
Yeah, I think
You're
so.
gonna love this one. It's chicken Alfredo pasta. Let's go to the kitchen.
All right, fantastic.
All right, let's head there. And we're not leaving this behind, though. This is something of pride. Please.
All right, let's go with it.
Hey, I touched an AMVCA award. Woohoo!